Welcome to Chatting with Chuck. I'm your host, Chuck. Today I'm talking to Tim Stone about ingress protection, also known as IP protection. Hey Tim, there's a lot of questions about IP and NEMA ratings. Can you tell me the difference?
First of all, Chuck, thanks for inviting me today. I'm glad to be here. Yes, there actually are a lot of questions. It's probably one of the most common questions as a HMI product manager at Vantech that get asked. And let me say this, IP and NEMA are very similar. The key to it is that NEMA actually stands for National Electrical Manufacturers Association here in the United States. And it's really, those tests are usually conducted by UL, which is Underwriters Laboratory. By the way, UL is not a government entity. It's a for-profit organization, whereas ingress protection is good globally. So NEMA is really good only here in the United States, but IP protection is good globally around the world. So Advantech does IP ratings and not NEMA.
Why is ingress protection important?
Well, ingress protection starts out at things like being able to protect against dust or sand getting in the unit, and goes all the way up to being able to be water protected, immersion protected, and we're going to talk about something like 69K, which is steam protection, but all is various different levels of protecting the device from intrusion of a foreign material, whether that be water or dirt or something else.
Why are some listed as all around ingress protection and some are not?
Well, Chuck, that's very easy. To be honest with you, in the HMI panel, in other words, panel PC world that I get into, it really kind of started out that you were going to cut your panel open, and then there's a gasket there that you mount this into that gives you that protection. But guess what? In a lot of cases with newer product, there is no panel. You're going to mount that to an arm or to a post, and so now you have to have an ingress protection that covers the back side of the unit as well as the front of the unit. So now you're starting to see what's referred to as IP66 all around or IP69K all around, because the unit is actually mounted out in the open.
So is ingress protection the same as marine grade or conformal coating?
Actually, Chuck, it's not, and a lot of people don't realize that. Because marine grade and conformal coating, which are very similar, has a lot to do with the environment the product is in. And in some of those cases, when you're talking about things like salt air, it's really not an environment that has to do with keeping something from getting in, but more so the actual place or the environment of what it's in. So you're looking at a corrosive environment. Conformal coating is used a lot to protect the inside electronics from that. Keep in mind when you're talking about ingress protection, even when it's IP69K and very good, it still doesn't completely protect you against an environment that might have salt air, for example. So that is the difference you want to pay attention to when you're selecting a product.
So Tim, when we talk about ratings like IP65, IP66, IP67, and now the new one, IP69K, what kind of differences are there?
Well, Chuck, IP ratings go all the way from IP01, which is just keeping foreign solid material from getting inside something, all the way up to IP69K. And in my industry, dust protection starts at about IP40. IP65 is water flowing across something and dust protection. IP66 is water under pressure. IP67, which you're seeing in a lot of smartphones now, is the ability to immerse something, but you can't leave it in there long. You get to IP68 and 69, it's, hey, I can leave it in there a long time, and 69, I can leave it in there at depth. But IP69K is new, and it's very different. IP69K is steam protection. In food and beverage and a lot of industries where you've got to sanitize things and you need high heat steam under pressure to do that, this new IP69K rating came out to accommodate that. So that's a brand new one that's out there, and that is that's one that we're seeing a lot of attention on these days, especially in food and beverage.
So are there any higher than IP69K?
Well, you know what, Chuck? Not today. Let me say IP69K is the high one today, but you know what? Whenever a benchmark comes out, there's going to be a new one. IP69K came out a couple of years ago, and now all of a sudden we're hearing talk about maybe something, who knows, the next one could be gamma ray protection for all I know. But I guarantee you it's not the last time we're going to have a new rating come out.
Great. Tim, I appreciate you taking the time to give us a little background on ingress protection. This is Chuck with Chatting with Chuck. Thank you.